Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. Yesterday I braved the cold. It was 0 when I woke up, Fahrenheit, and went out and bought this thing. This is a Wildfire 300 4x4 quad. Obviously it's got 4 wheels. It cost me $250. This is the cheapest 4x4 on Marketplace anywhere near me. It's been on there for a while. The guy, I think, started at 5. He went to 3. I went over there and looked at it. He gave it to me for $250. Some of you who've been following my channel for a while, I'm sure you're saying stuff along the lines of, didn't you learn your lesson on the Manco Talon or Lehigh, whoever they call that other piece of junk you bought, that monster with the 2-wheel drive 260. Oh, I learned a lot of lessons from it, and hopefully I can use some of them here. So quickly, let's talk about this beast. First of all, from a size point of view, it is quite the truckload here. I mean, it is full. I could tell you it is crazy heavy. There were 4 of us, and 3 of the guys were much bigger than I am. And, you know, we kind of put the front on and pushed from the back, and then picked up the back and finished loading it. As you guys could see, it's also a window breaker. Good thing I have my chair here. As a matter of fact, you can see a little arc on the chair from where it kind of pushed against it. So this monster is heavy. I'd guess it weighs somewhere around 500 pounds. I think I have a complete quad, right? You're saying, where the hell is the seat? I have the seat in the cab, and there's 2 panels, one on each side. I have those. Came with the ignition. It's got a Honda key in it that doesn't turn. The guy said it ran when parked, but when you walk up to an all-terrain vehicle and you see the pieces off like this, and it appears as if hoses are missing and wires have been messed with, you really take that with a bit of a grain of salt. I more or less figured I was buying a dead parts all-terrain vehicle. But quickly going through the parts, I'm not thinking this thing has many miles on it. I believe these are OEM tires. You can see they come with these original wheels. If I had a guess, I think they will fit a Polaris, right? All 4 of them seem to hold air. To some extent, the far 2 hold air completely. When I loaded it, they were aired up, and as you can see, this was out sitting in the snowbank. These 2 took air, and they look like they're pretty good. So why did I buy it? I really want the 4-wheel drive system out of this thing, and I think it's easier for me to show you up here while it's up high. You can see the engine appears to be separate from the rest of it, and I think there's a video on there somewhere on YouTube where somebody took one of these things, put a Predator motor on to it, and turned it into a lawn truck. Now, I don't recall everything about it, but once again, going back from memory, I think he lengthened it, and just looking at it quickly, I'm not quite sure what he did, because between the shifting on top, and if you look down here at the drive shaft, and you got to get a belt on it such that it hooks up to that tranny. I'm not sure if he lengthened it or exactly how he did that. Humped it so the engine could be up high, and then put the shifter elsewhere. I'm not exactly sure how he managed that, but he seemed to manage to do it, and I think that's a good idea. More or less, I'm making 2 assumptions about this engine, and if somebody owns one of these, they could tell me if I'm right or wrong. The first assumption I'm making, even though they're calling it a 300. I believe that's only 260 cc's worth of engine, which means, it's probably the same as the Lin Hai engine, same as the other engine I have out back, which means I just got a load of parts and mechanicals and all that. But I am assuming this engine is junk. I cannot turn it over, obviously. Boy, that was tight. There's no recoil, and I don't want to just put a battery to it until it has a chance to defrost. You guys can see it does have oil, though the oil is quite nasty. So that's always a good sign when you find oil in them. Yeah, let's take a quick look at the antifreeze on the other side. Here's the antifreeze bottle, the overflow bottle. I don't know, could you guys see the level moving in there? So it seems to have antifreeze in it, I think. So maybe it didn't freeze up and break, but it could have, blown up. Who knows? You can see the wildfire sticker right there. Anyway, I'm told this is a 2007. Some of you guys might have already worked out in your minds that it would be crazy cool to take this aluminum golf cart carry-all body and manage to get it onto that quad frame, right? I think that would just be crazy amazing. And there's a couple ways to do it. One way, you kind of keep the quad frame intact, and you put that on kind of as a monster truck sitting way up high, or you try to integrate the two of them a little bit and try to lower things somewhat. I'm thinking four-wheel drive, I'm thinking monster truck, I'm thinking super reliable Predator type motor, and so forth. Anybody who's dealt with water-cooled stuff, if you stick with the brand names, a lot of times they do a little better with the components. The thermostat that lets the water go through the motor for cooling, the fans, the fan controllers, all that kind of stuff, right? The metal, the radiators made out of the hoses, everything to do with it. Water cooling is just another whole level of pain in the neck, and personally I'd rather not deal with it. I'd rather work my way toward an air-cooled motor. The other nice thing about the Predator motor, depending on what size, I think you can even do like a 13.5 horsepower electric start. I think you could do that motor for somewhere around $300, $299 on sale. I think maybe I have the numbers wrong, and maybe with the way import things have changed, I could be wrong. Just thinking about the drive system, I could always get both sprockets off, obviously, put a chain drive on that, put the torque converter on the Predator, move the Predator way up front if I lengthen the frame, right away from all the drive systems and so forth. I could set the height and everything like that. With the torque converter on the Predator, that could provide the torque converter and the clutch, and then the shifting and the rest of the 4x4 would be just as it is here. Anyway, enough talking. I think it's time to unload it. It's not much of a drop, 18 inches, 24. So I'm going to gently just pull it off the truck with the with my Honda TRX 300 4x4. Winter is a lot of work. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's adventure. Winter's just so much more work than spring. You know, everything rolls better when it's not frozen. Tires hold air better when it's a little bit warmer outside. You gotta cover things in the spring, but you don't have to worry about the snow load, pulling tarps off or anything like that. It's just a tad easier to kind of put things away. Anyway, I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember, feet down, heads up, get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.